So I was starting to write before I was an au pair in the US, like during that 6 month period when I didn't know what I was going to do.
Before he came to the US.
Exactly. And when I arrived and I had internet at home for the first time in my life in 97,
And you were
I
connecting
started
through
participating in forums with French speaking people. And the first forum I was going to was for movie magazine, the most popular movie magazine that went in France. And they had a forum there, and we were like exchanging our taste in movies and stuff like that. And that's when I started watching movies that I didn't know about because we were communicating about it, like Goodfellas, that I've never heard of. One, it's not true. I've seen the poster.
the trailer. Oh, the
No, the poster in the movie theater when I went to see Gremlins 2 in 1991, I believe.
Okay.
I saw the Goodfellas poster and it didn't talk to me at all. I didn't know Taxi Driver at the time. I didn't know.
I tried to watch Taxi Driver and it gave me anxiety.
When? Well, that was like last month, right?
Yeah, because
Okay,
the guy never sleeps and then he goes loco.
Taxi Driver is from 78, I think.
Yeah,
so.
I know. And yeah.
Okay. Well, Goodfellas. So that was one example of like when we're exchanging in the forum, people were saying you need to watch this movie and when we can talk about it, and then we extensively talked about every sequence and how it was filmed and was this music was picked and stuff like that. And I love this movie. I love Casino as well from Scorsese. So both are from Scorsese and Taxi Driver. That's why we're talking about it. And we talked about whole different movies. And when the little one, the 3-year-old, was going to school after couple of months, yeah. I looked at the time that I had, at the money that I had, that was very, very limited. And I thought, okay, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., I can write. And that's what I'm going to do. So I put that discipline. I did it, I think, twice in my life. And I think that's the thing, that is the discipline that paid off the most. I wish I applied it throughout my life. But it's just to prove that it really works.
Discipline.
Yes. I just put a schedule on myself. I said from 11 to 2 p.m., you're just going to write. And I remember I started writing an anticipation movie script. Or not even a script, actually, like a novel. And I was going to different forums, and people are telling me, oh, so I was putting it out there as it was developing. And I was getting feedback. It was, oh, that sounds like H.G. Wells, and that sounds like, World of Worlds, and all references that I didn't have because I never knew. Yeah, like 1984. I never really read these books before, and it was reassuring to me. I didn't care that it wasn't original what I was writing. What I cared about was that there was like renowned writers that probably did it way better than me, but had the same creative sense. And from this point on, because I wasn't a big fan of science fiction or anticipation or things like that, I wasn't really into it. I decided to write an original script for a full-length movie. And following the codes and rules from what I was seeing online. And I started writing every single day for 3 hours. And I would go at the exact same time. I would finish at the exact same time. And it doesn't mean that, I was like creating for 3 hours. Some days I was going back to what I wrote the day before and improving it the way I thought I would, correcting it, etc. And then I would like really progress. And I progressed really, really fast. Like within 3 months, I had the whole movie done.
Really?
Yeah. And then I rewrote it. It took me 1 or 2 months to rewrite, like to improve it. And then I put it online to get feedback from the people I trusted because I was talking with them every single day. And I had people that were already involved in movie productions at different levels, and I had really good feedback, and I had a very good original story, and I was getting inspiration from very different type
Background.
of ways, and the fact that I was living in the US and still being, in my mind only close to France
Uh-huh.
really helped me opening my mind. And so I find like different sequence, different situations that were getting along with the story plot, and I really like the story, and I think submitted it to somebody that wrote movie before, and was telling me,
Mm-hmm.
to continue and do this and do that,
And what happened?
and what happened is my lack of confidence for that I could always improve what I was doing, and that happened a second time, but I think I will talk about in a different episode.
Okay.
But what happened is that when I went back to France,
Uh-huh.
so after 12 months in the US and traveling around the country, meeting a lot of different girls, having a lot of different girlfriends that I thank again today because they were like very my good friends, and I had only girlfriends back then, not girlfriends that I was intimate with, like for all of them, but really good girlfriends, and spent a really good time. And when I went back to France, I went back to my fears, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what you need to do, so I was full of confidence and discipline when I was in the US, and when I went back to France, I went back to the codes. But you need to know people in Paris, and you need to know, no, 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 no. And for whatever reason, I never submitted that script. But I think like about 20 people read
Read it? Mm-hmm.
and really liked it, and encouraged me to do so. And what happened in between is that the forum we were all participating in
Mm-hmm.
got closed by the magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and so different people went to different forums, and it
Forums.
was hard to find the same type of dynamic, because it was out of 10 people, it was only 2 or 3 left in one forum and 2 or 3 left in another forum.
But you never went into a new one.
And so now I went to a new one. I think it was called Black Screen, Écran Noir, and it was fine, but it was never the same. And then I moved on.
So
So I wrote my only full length movie script during that time, 97, 98.
mhm.
I never submitted it to any production
Do you have it
company.
now?
I have it, but it's like aged. It aged a lot. Like it's not.
But
Like we're talking about the time when we didn't have cell phone, where we
it
didn't.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You should submit it. Comment people.
no, I think
Comment
no, I don't
subscribers
think.
if
Like the thing is that after I wrote the movie, 10 or 15 years after, every year I was seeing a movie that was taking whether
The
the
idea?
situation or the plot or the everything that was in this movie has been taken in a lot of movies that I've seen since then. So there's nothing original left to it. I think it was just like something that was in the air at the time, and like, and it's fine because
So
a lot of people
do
that are
you have it?
professional wrote like 20 movies since then, and I didn't.
So do you have it now?
I still have the script, but there's really nothing original. And then there's another short film script that I have, and I can tell a story about a little bit later, that had more chances of being produced, but that never happened because of my lack of confidence or my
Of course, I won't ask you the
being
plot
perfectionist.
of any of those, but
We can talk about the second one. I think the first one would be like
no, because it's an original idea, and you
that's what I'm
could-
saying. There's nothing original about it anymore
Yeah, but the second
at
one.
all. The second one, no, either, because I've seen what I wrote. I've seen it after that 15 times also, like in different ways, but I've seen it. I've seen it, and the actors that I had in mind.
So you are not regretting not submitting that? Why?
No, I regret it. Like the only thing I regret is not knowing how I would have dealt with this actually happening. Like, because in my mind, the way I approached it and the way it happened, obviously I wasn't ready, or I didn't have the balls to do it,
Mhm.
or whatever. So it didn't happen.
If you knew what you know now, would you have done it?
I think things would have happened the same way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like the only time I really had an opportunity, I need to move to Paris, and I really didn't want to because that means I needed to live in the suburbs, and I didn't really want to because it was depressing to me, and at the time I had to choose between staying with my girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
or moving and not being with my girlfriend, and so I decided to stay with my girlfriend, and I missed the opportunity. I know myself from 20 years ago, and I don't think I would have changed a thing. I just wasn't. I was never like that hungry for
I
trying to deal
was.
with this type of people.
I really wanted to write. That's why I sent my poem. I was in the first 10 places. I don't even remember. Of course, I didn't win, but I was like in 7th, 8th. I don't remember. So it wasn't that bad.
No.
It wasn't
Out of how many?
of 10. No. Okay. I think out of 5,000.
Oh, okay, that's better.
Yeah,
That's much better.
Out of 5,000, and it was a lot, and it took. I think I submitted, and then 6 months later, I received a notification
That what?
that I was on the 7th place, and they put it on a book that I tried to. I don't even know which book in Spain.
In Spain?
Oh
wow.
In Spain, so I don't even know which book. So someday you will find one of my poems
What was
for the
it called?
posterity.
What was it called?
I don't even remember.
Okay.
I don't. You know what? It was. You know this. No, I think I have it here. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote them 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, I will find it, and I found their page, not Facebook page, but the web page, and I sent them a message asking them, and they sent me my. I will find it.
Really?
Yes.
They sent it back?
Yeah. Because my mom, I told you that my mom put on the trash and you're listening. I know you're listening.
Yeah, well, I know that was a big deal for you.
Yeah. And my poems and all the things that I wrote now are on, I don't know where, on the trash, I guess, somewhere in Mexico. And I used to write a lot, and that was in there. And I was reading my many poems, and I thought like, oh, this is good. I will submit this one. So I did. But it was all, I don't even remember. I had a lot of poems, to be honest.
With rhymes?
No.
No?
No. I didn't like to rhyme at all. I mean, no, it's not necessary to be a poem. You not necessarily have to rhyme. It's important. But anyway, I will find out, and I will let people know.
Where it is?
No, because
where we can buy it?
I don't think you can buy it. I don't think it was so popular.
But like when I think back to it, like the only reason why I accomplished something, so that full-length movie script, then short movie scripts, and then I did a play that actually was played. And the only reason it happened is because I taught myself from this time to this time you're going to write.
Yeah, discipline.
And anytime I didn't have that type of discipline, nothing happened. Nothing happened out of it. And I think that's why it's important to have like routines to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do that on this time to this time. Otherwise, you just like procrastinate or just delay to the next day, or like nothing really happens.
Yeah.
And you need to give yourself the chance to fail again and again and again and again every single day to do something right.